What's up, guys? So I'm going back down to Mexico to finally get the root canal. Yeah, this whole thing's gone on way too long. It's been a couple weeks since I went down there the first time. That particular dentist actually wasn't trained in doing root canals and implants and stuff like that. So anyway, I mean, it was a kind of a fun trip, kind of interesting and all that stuff, but really I should have got the root canal that day, so that didn't happen. And then it's taken me 2 weeks to get back, which kind of is further pricing and everything. It's going to cost $300 for the root canal on the molar, and then an additional $100 on the post and build up. So I'm assuming they kind of rebuild the tooth, and they'll probably put a temporary crown on it, and I guess I can keep that for like 2 weeks or 4 weeks, 4 weeks max, I guess. And they're not going to be able to make the crown today. They could if I would have been able to go down a little bit earlier. They have this thing called a CEREC machine, or a CEREC machine, where it's almost like a CNC machine that can make a crown for you that day, and it looks like a real tooth. But I guess it takes an hour for the machine to make the thing, and it's running too late and everything, and that's going to be $350 or $400 for that type of crown. So yeah, anyway, still on my way down, getting kind of close. Here's this is the biggest mountain in southern Arizona. It's Mount Wrightson, and it's got a lot of snow on it right now. Yes, it does snow in Arizona, but that mountain's like 9,453 feet high. I climbed it in the snow before, and the snow was up to my chest in some spots. Pretty cool up there. But anyway, I'm going to turn the camera back on. Once I get down to the border, I'll show you guys what it's like to walk across the border. But one thing I wanted to say, and I think a lot of people on Steemit are sort of surprised that people in the United States go to Mexico for dental work, or like, you know, different medical procedures and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, it is what it is. The dental cost and medical cost and a lot of other things are just extremely expensive in the United States. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I could go on and on about, you know, why that is, and certain benefits that we do appreciate here in the United States. But as I've talked to a lot of people that have came from different countries, a very common theme is that they have this perception, especially when they're kids, they see movies that are from Hollywood, that everybody in the United States is rich, and it's kind of like you get here and it's quote unquote the American dream, and everybody's living in this like California suburbia situation, and it's just not the case. You know, there's a lot of people struggling here. Expenses are high, you know, taxes are high, and you know, it's not easy. And I was just recently putting up some posts about Obamacare, and my you know, the two plans that I would have been able to get, you know, Pima County, Arizona's got 1 million people, but most of the healthcare providers dropped out of these Obamacare sponsored plans, and you know, the cheapest plan was going to be $337 with like a $4,200 deductible. So that's, you know, it's expensive. You know, you spend all this money, you spend thousands and thousands of dollars just on premiums, and you know, it is what it is. But as far as the root canal and the crown is considered, all that, let's say somebody, you know, there's some other users, some other people on Steemit that they're from Phoenix, and you know, they've experienced similar type situations where they've went down to Mexico, and it seems to be a common theme. If you're in Tucson or Phoenix, and you're going to get a root canal and like a molar, and you're going to get a crown and all that stuff like that, you're talking $2,500. If you go down to Mexico, somewhere between $700 and $900, kind of depending. Obviously, I'm not trying to go to the cheapest. This place that I'm going to, you know, they're bilingual. It's just right over the border, and you know, very nice place from what I saw from the pictures and the research and stuff. But anyway, that is what it is, and I will update you in a little bit. Hopefully I'm not too messed up to try to drive home right away. I don't want to be in Mexico when it's dark, but it probably will get dark by the time I get the thing done. We'll see. Here's a better view of the mountain though, once we get this stuff out of the way here. But I would zoom in, but I would probably wreck. But yeah, it's called Mount Wrightson, Madeira Canyon, Coronado National Forest. So anyway, tune in when I get there to the border. See ya. What's up, guys? This is the border crossing into Mexico. Just basically, it's not monitored. It's just this Rolex thing. But then when you come back, you have to wait in line right there. Hey guys, I'm at the dental place and I'm going to. This is it. Looks pretty decent. But anyway, you gotta get in there. I'm kind of late. I'm all done. It actually took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. I just think there was a lot of work to do. So I got the root canal and the post done, so it was built up in preparation for the cap. The one thing that I didn't know is that they're going to have to do some additional build up to get the tooth ready for the final crown. And that's going to cost $150, and I'm going to come back in like 4 days to try to do that. Then after that, the crown could be like an additional $400. So today I paid $400. It's going to be $150 on Thursday, so up to $550. Then additional like $400 essentially, so $950. But again, it's about a third the cost. Half my mouth is still numb and stuff like that. I can eat in a couple hours. They don't want me to bite my tongue and bite my lips. As far as the dentist office goes, it was, you know, very professional. Everything was like you would expect it to be in the United States. You know, they just communicated back and forth in Spanish, but the dentist knew some English, like pretty decent. His assistant knew a little more, and they even brought in another person who was very fluent in English, and she actually sounded like maybe she grew up in the United States or something. So anyway, it wasn't an issue. And then I got a couple prescriptions. They were both $15 total, but the antibiotic that I'm going to be taking now is Sigmadil. So, and then the painkiller, I guess, was just some kind of, I think it was just naproxen, is what it was. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to drive back to Tucson. Gonna have an early morning tomorrow, so I'm hoping that'll go okay. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. What's up, everybody? Going down to Mexico for the third time, but this the second time for this particular procedure. Got the root canal like 5 days ago. It seems like it went pretty well. They had to do additional buildup for to get ready for the crown, and they couldn't do that the same day as the root canal. They could have done it the next day. They might have been able to do it if I was there earlier. I'm not really sure, but it kind of sucks. I had to go down there 3 times. Actually, a 4th time if you count the first time, which was almost in a way. I mean, it was an okay trip and all that stuff, but it kind of like, instead of getting the root canal done that day, I just got that teeth cleaning or whatever. So anyway, going down there, getting the second thing done, the additional build-up, but I think there has to be a gap. They wouldn't be able to put on the crown today, regardless, even if I was there 4 hours ago. Going back across the border last time, I had to stand in kind of a long line, not really that long. It was dark by the time I got back. I was a little bit hesitant about that, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, you're literally like 100 feet from the border. So now I know a little more of where to go. Pretty much zip in there. One of the annoying things about going to Mexico is you get out in front of these stores and there's people who are like paid to try to convince you to go over to their pharmacy, because there's so many pharmacies down there. A lot of people go down there and get their medication for a lot cheaper, and they're always trying to like get you to go over into a certain store and everything. It's like you kind of feel bad like ignoring these people. So it's just almost like if you're just laser focused and just, you know, if they do get in your way, it's almost like, you know, no gracias kind of thing, and just get by them and get to where you're going to go. But as soon as I got in the dentist's office, I mean, it was just like any nice dentist office in the United States. All the, you know, top line looking equipment. They seemed very, very thorough when they did the root canal. I mean, it seemed like they were spending extra time to sterilize everything. They're actually taking a flame to, you know, some of the metal equipment to sterilize it. And then they had a device that was shining like a blue light on the area, like as they progressively went through it, so that I'm assuming that there would be no bacteria or infection that would get kind of trapped. So anyway, it seemed pretty thorough and everything, but again, this is the second trip down for the major work, and I'm gonna have to come back a 3rd time in a couple weeks, up to a month. I mean, I guess I can go for a month from what they acted like after I do this to get the crown. And probably the crown I'm gonna go with is like a CEREC crown. It's like CEREC, but it's almost like imagine like a CNC machine kind of looking thing, like a little small one that can like produce a porcelain crown in like an hour's time. So that'll be pretty cool. But it's $400. So this whole thing, again, $400 the first time, plus $15 worth of prescription. Plus this time's gonna be $150, plus probably a little bit more prescription for the antibiotics. Probably have to pay another $10. Then I'm gonna have to go down, it's gonna be another $10. And then you have the gas associated with it. All in all, it's still well worth going down there, no doubt. So they talk about having a border wall and all that. Well, there's already a wall, like in a lot of these places, like Nogales. If you see this, you see on the hill, that's actually Mexico. But if you see, I mean, this is kind of a glare here if I can show this, but you have that metal fence, you know, that goes all the way along. But I mean, that goes pretty far. I mean, it's not, but areas like this, there already is a wall. It's through like the Totemotum Nation and stuff like that. There's no real wall. I mean, the desert is kind of the boundary and all that stuff, but I mean, people are still gonna get over that. And there's tunnels underneath the ground that people crawl through, and it comes up through a house, you know, over here in the Arizona side. So I don't really know what you guys think about that, but I just think it's going to cost too much to build a wall, and to tell you the truth, I don't think it's not really going to stop everything anyway. So it's probably going to be too costly. They're talking $20 billion to build it all the way. So I don't know, just wanted to show you guys that. Kind of a big glare here, but I mean, you can see the metal fence. Okay, I got the second procedure done. They had to cut into my jawbone and also kind of like remove part of my gums, kind of flap it backwards, so that it's called an enlargement, so that they can get ready to put the crown on. But once again, it was, you know, I felt like it was professional. Everything was, you know, everything was well done. They're very nice to me, and I don't think it's going to be too bad. I have 2 stitches in my gum, and basically in a couple weeks, when I go back to get the crown, they'll take out the stitches. So those are going to stay in for a little bit. I can wait like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but I'm probably just going to kind of minimum, it's like, you know, 2 weeks, let it heal. I should be good to go. But that's kind of the end of the second part. Well, it's kind of like part 3. So I'm going to put part 2 and part 3 together, and then in 2 weeks I'll you know, do the final with the crown stuff. I would have taken before pictures, like the way the tooth was, but just like I was in so much pain, and that tooth really looked like crap. It was like half of it, part of it was busted away because the filling had busted out, and I jumped off that cliff up by the Grand Canyon, and it's like that was the first point of contact, and so it busted a part of the tooth out, and also like cracked it, but it was like those were micro cracks. Those weren't into the roots, luckily. So the integrity of the tooth into my gums wasn't like compromised. But yeah, it was cool. You know, obviously it sucks to have like dental work done. I mean, a lot of you guys know, and it's been a long time since I'd had major dental work done, where they're like, you know, putting all the needles in your mouth to numb it, and it's just a freaky, there's a lot of like anxiety around it. Obviously people are freaked out, they hear root canal, and if you haven't had one, there's that general perception that it's gonna hurt. It didn't really hurt when they were doing it, just because, you know, they put the anesthetic in there. A little bit of soreness the next couple days, but not too bad. I mean, I was a couple days on the ibuprofen, and then that was it. The painkiller they'd prescribed me before was basically naproxen, but the guy at the pharmacy that I went to, he actually like gave me suppositories last time, and I thought it was a mistake. You know, like, oh, you know, he's in a hurry, he's a nice guy, whatever, he gave me suppositories. I just think he was trying to clear out the inventory, and he knew I wouldn't know that until I got home. Today, I walked in there, and I don't know why I did it. It was just the most convenient place to walk into. And I had asked the doctor, one of the dentists, how much this special mouthwash should cost. I'll show you this. Nothing, you know, super special, but it's Bixident. So anyway, she was saying that this was probably going to be like $10 US. Suddenly, he does the thing, he's saying $22.50. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm thinking, maybe it is that much. I mean, you don't know. Yeah, stuff is. I just went ahead and did it. And then he didn't have the proper change. And I said, okay, I'll take some Mexican pesos. And I just wanted them as a souvenir. I wanted some paper bills. And he's like, oh, well, actually, in pesos, it'll only be $1. When he really owed me $3 US in change. And if any guys know the conversion rate, it's, you know, the peso's worth a lot less than the dollar and falling a lot faster in comparison. So who knows? It could have, I don't know what the exact conversion is, but it could easily have been that he owed me hundreds of pesos. So I don't know. He gave me it was like 4 pesos or what. I don't know. These little, they were coins. Let's see what they are. Now, here's like a 2 peso thing, and I don't know what this one is. 50 cents. I don't know, half a peso. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted it as a keepsake. And I guess my rule in Mexico, just the way I think of it, is a dude a scammer. Yeah, like, you know, he thought he kind of got over. I mean, he did. And I could have said, nah, man, bullshit. But it's nighttime in Mexico, in a border town. I don't know who his friends are. And I'm just like, oh, you know, gracias, gracias. You know, and then I just head to the border. Because, you know, what am I going to, like, get pissed off? Hey, dude, you're ripping me off. It's like, you know, oh, gracias. But I'm not going to go back there again. But what are you going to do? So, anyway, that was that. But I feel like the dental, you know, the Smile More dental office, very, very professional. Like, when I did the root canal, they did a lot of work. That was a lot of work. And, you know, and today it was a lot of work to cut into it. Today it was 150. And she actually had to specially, the doctor who did it, she had to specially kind of come in, and she was already gone or she was somewhere else to do the surgery. So I feel good about it, you know, from everything I saw from last time and this time. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like that they're like, oh, here, you know, here's an American, you know, we can get over on him and stuff. I mean, does somebody get a cheaper root canal in Mexico if they're local and maybe they know people, you know, or something? Maybe, but really when it boils down to it, it's still a third the cost that I would pay in Phoenix or in, you know, in Tucson. So really when it boils down to it, it's cheaper. I feel like they're doing a good job. And I feel like the actual facility, that they're not trying to scam people, because I think that it's set up to where they know what their reputation is, and they're set up right there to service people from Phoenix and Tucson. So they're not looking to rip people off. And I think that they've kind of gone to, you know, kind of great lengths to make sure that there's multiple people in there. If someone doesn't know as good at English, that they have somebody in there that does know pretty good English. So I'm not like in there like nobody knows English. You know, they know good English. A couple of them know like really solid English. And I had to wait a little bit. That's another thing. One of the doctors, I had to wait a little bit, and she was kind enough to get in her personal Netflix account and let me watch Netflix on the TV. I mean, you know, that's just cool. You know, she's like going out of her way. They could have had me like go back to the waiting room where it was packed, you know, kind of thing. But she let me stay there in the dental chair and wait for like 30 minutes while I watched, you know, a show on Netflix. So anyway, the numbness is still there. I feel like I can drive. It was a local anesthetic. There was no laughing gas. They didn't put me under, nothing like that. They did put a sheet, like a thing over my face, and so it was just my mouth that was exposed. So that was kind of different. I don't think I'd ever had that done before. But that's cool, you know, because I think they didn't want stuff splattering. Anyway, I'm getting a phone call right now. Talk to you guys later. How's it going, Steamit? Brian Fogels here. So I just got the crown on my tooth, and I waited like way too long. But I'm here in Mexico and down in Nogales again, and I just got the crown on. But I was supposed to get it on after like a month, but I actually waited, and it's almost June. It's almost June until I got on here. Just got it on. Just kind of checking the place out before it gets dark. Me and my friend Esco, we're down here. Just seeing kind of what's what. See if we find like a nice restaurant or something. Eat here and then get back to Tucson. This place actually looks pretty nice. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on. But anyway, that's kind of the resolution. So far, I'm happy with the Crown. We'll see how it feels and see if it's on there right. And all this stuff. I'm really satisfied with my experience at the dental place that I went to. So check them out. It was Smile Dental, and I do recommend it from everything that I experienced so far.